Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Melanated Minds. Today's movie that we're going to discuss is called Multiverse, and it's a Hulu movie. Okay, here's the overview. Four college students are forced to confront themselves in terrifying ways when their quantum physics experiment leads to an entangled parallel existence that leaves them questioning who they are and what is real. Taken off from Jet Li's The One, this movie goes into depth showing a method of intergalactic travel and what happens when you face your clone. In my opinion, Jet Li's The One shows the levels better, but this movie answers the question: what if all the different versions of oneself are all in the same place simultaneously? This movie drops many scientific gems if you pay attention. Okay, here's the conscious movie review. Multiverse in gematria is 144 or the number 9. The number 9 means death or the ending of a cycle. 144 shares values with Oculus Rift, which was the original virtual reality software. I believe that was for what? Xbox, or was that for the metaverse? That was the original. I believe it was for Xbox, the Oculus Rift, where everybody had it over their head and it was boxing in the air. Subversion, morphology, protractor, frozen four, hypothesis, psychiatry, and unity of one, which are all relevant to the movie. Go figure, right? During the opening credits, you see a white screen with ink blots of the darker primary colors. You also see a goldfish in gray, blackish water. Then you see two goldfish. The narrator talks about multiverse theory. You see three students playing with scientific equipment and one on a laptop. The one typing on the laptop is deaf and is communicating using sign language. The students are two women and two guys, two men, right? Young people, like early 20s. The team leader notices there is more seismic activity near the fishbowl because you can connect quantumly via water. They then drive to a lake on a dark winding road. The activity receives stronger flares the closer they drive to the water. This makes sense because we know the Bermuda Triangle is a known warp zone and is located in the ocean. The guy's student starts to speed and they get into a car accident. They are driving a white BMW. BMW is the number 38, which is master number 11, which is a portal or opening of a gateway, which makes sense for this movie. The team leader is addressed as Loretta. She notices a black SUV and someone held out their hand. As Loretta grabs the hand, the entire SUV drops and explodes with Loretta with them. The other three students return to the school's lab and is documenting their brain activity, measuring their emotions. The other guy ran out and is still haunted by memories of his now deceased girlfriend, Loretta. He keeps seeing her face and believes he sees her at the library. The deaf girl communicates to her mom, and her mom is also deaf. They are very close, and you see the loving communication between the two. The three friends meet at the bar. The guy who was driving the BMW wants to use Loretta's science and continue the project. Then he sees a woman who looks exactly like Loretta, and the ex boyfriend ran out to locate her. He is addressed as Danny. It is revealed that Danny works at the bar. The other woman invites Danny inside her bedroom. Danny expresses being worried because both men saw a woman who looks exactly like Loretta. They comfort each other. The deaf woman had a dream about water. It is revealed the deaf woman name is Amy. The other young man returns to the lab and there are now two goldfish instead of one. His phone rings and it is Loretta. He asks Danny, she asks about Danny and Amy. He thinks it is a cruel prank. Amy and Danny kisses in the hallway. Loretta catches them and slaps Amy. Loretta is upset about her best friend and boyfriend kissing. Danny and Amy are looking like they are shocked. They are in shock. The four friends are in the lab, and the three break the news that Loretta has been dead for 5 months. Loretta thinks they are playing a sick joke, asking Amy why won't she talk and why is she using sign language. Loretta is getting frustrated, then she and Amy figured out that the parallel universe travel worked. Loretta proceeds to explain that the observable particle twin entanglement using a big body of water for power. They believe Loretta is crazy for believing she is her twin soul from an alternate universe. She shows her tattoo that the four friends in her universe received. It reads entanglement, going into a black infinity symbol, like the number 8. The three friends from this side of the universe doesn't have a tattoo. Loretta questions her sanity because everything is just weird. Entanglement in gematria is 130 and shares properties with the fourth chakra, the god Apollo, calculations, asteroid belt, book of Judges, and the human mind. The fourth chakra is the center of the seven chakras and is the area where physical and spiritual meet. The fourth chakra is also the heart chakra and is located in the center of the chest and includes the heart, the cardiac plexus, the thymus gland, lungs, and breast. Healing the fourth chakra is opening yourself up to love and is called anahata in Sanskrit. 130 is also the number 4, and there are four friends who are the center of the movie, and it represents the fourth chakra. The That's pretty deep, actually. The three remaining friends experience severe headaches and body pain simultaneously. They meet at the lab in the morning and notices one of the fish died. Loretta informs them that the fish that crossed over died because two identicals cannot exist on the same plane simultaneously. The first guy goes home noticing someone was there. His bedroom was trashed and his money was missing. His science trophy was left on the floor by the entrance door. Loretta calls her parents. Her mom answers and she sounds afraid. She's crying because someone called her deceased daughter's phone. Her dad threatened to contact the police and thinks it's just a cruel, sick joke. The two guys meet at a basement. During their talk, they discovered they all had muscular weakness. The guy has a theory that it was the old fish that died and not the new one. Danny discovers his friend is the clone from the alternate universe. The clone informs him a universe cannot sustain two versions of the same mass because it defies physical laws. This is why they are experiencing muscular weaknesses and they feel funny, losing their basic motor skills. That's why the other fish died. It doesn't matter which version fails, but one of each has to go. That's how space time heals itself. Loretta doesn't have that problem because her version already died. The clone friend who drives the BMW poisoned the original Danny. Clone friend also smothers original Danny, killing him to ensure clone Danny with the tattoo can live in this universe without any hitches and without a problem. All of their hands continue to shake. Original friend meets up with clone Danny and Loretta, not realizing it's the other Danny. Clone Danny has no clue what his friend is talking about, for he has no memory of Loretta being dead for 5 months and starting a relationship with Amy. Clone Danny senses something is wrong and goes to his car. Clone Danny is in the car and breaks the news to him. Amy is at home upset. Her mom comforts her. Clone Danny and Clone Friend have a discussion about this universe. Danny looks afraid after Clone Friend asks him to kill the original guy to make Clone Guy unique in this world. Clone Guy informs Clone Danny how he killed the original Danny to ensure Clone Danny can live. Therefore, he should return the favor. It is revealed that it was the clone guy at the original guy's home last night because he attempted to kill him with the trophy. He just couldn't kill another version of himself. It is revealed that Clone Guy was diagnosed with a mental illness in his alternate universe and has been on meds since he was a child. He informs Clone Danny that the original him doesn't have a mental illness. Danny calls him Jerry and says he will not kill any version of him. Clone Loretta discovers the news report where original Loretta passed away. They said the car explosion killed everyone beyond recognition, and they are wondering why there aren't any missing persons report filed. Amy visits Danny. Clone Danny doesn't tell her it's not the real him. Amy sees the tattoo and realizes it's the clone Danny and questions where is the real Danny. As she goes to her motorcycle, her hand shakes excessively. When Amy arrives home, her mom notices something is very off. They disagree in sign language. Amy goes to her room, seeing a school for the deaf diploma and accolades. She also sees the newspaper article about Loretta's death. She then realizes she is the clone Amy. Clone Amy calls Jerry, original called clone friend until his name was just revealed, and seeing her on FaceTime speaking normally freaks him the hell out. He then realizes she is clone Amy and meets up with the real Amy. Real Amy breaks the news that there's two of each of them, and in order to live, one version of themselves must die. Clone Jerry is with clone Loretta, offering to partner with her to showcase the invention. Original Jerry is speaking with clone Danny and is informed that the original Danny was killed by clone Jerry. Original Jerry is sad. Clone Danny tells original Jerry that clone Amy is not deaf and clone Jerry killed the original Danny in order for the clone Danny to live, bringing to reality that each version of themselves have slight differences. He also breaks the news that clone Jerry has mental illness, is on medication, and has many loose screws. Clone Loretta wants clone Jerry to stop speeding while driving. Original Amy returns home. Her mom is on the couch, places a blanket on her, and kisses her on the forehead. Original Amy receives a text from original Jerry warning her to stay away from clone Jerry because he killed the original Danny. Original Amy is experiencing pain while walking upstairs. Clone Amy is sitting on the bed and proceeds to talk. Original Amy is shocked and very, very afraid. Clone Amy says she was lucky. Her mom was deaf too, and there was a 90% chance of it being passed down. And by default, she won the coin toss because she sees that the original Amy is deaf, just like the mom, which means if they are any other versions of them, all the other ones would be deaf. She's the clone one that appeared this time is the only one that won that genetic lottery. And have the gift of speech and hearing, right? So clone Amy is not as nice as original Amy. Clone Amy opens up about being embarrassed by having a deaf mom. Clone Amy says she is not enough of a monster to hurt two versions of her own mom and she would take care of them. Clone Amy leaves. The mom approaches original Amy, telling her she knows she is leaving, but she wants the real Amy to return and not the clone one who can talk. Loretta asks clone Danny who killed the original Danny and is informed clone Jerry did the deed. Now at this point, everyone knows. So now it's no longer a secret that clone Jerry killed the Danny. Original Amy follows clone Amy into the large body of water. Clone Amy signs water is the answer and attempts sign language. She uses sign language to tell her water is the answer, and she attempts to return back to her original universe. She feels original Amy is much nicer than she is and deserves to be the only one left here. Original Amy is afraid and worried. Clone Amy vanishes and original Amy feels strong again. This implies that clone Amy found her way back into her universe. Original Jerry goes home to confront clone Jerry. Clone Jerry pulls out a gun and they fight. They really tussle. Clone Loretta, clone Danny, and original Amy runs inside of Jerry's home. If you haven't noticed, Jerry is the one that drives the BMW and he's very rich, or pretty much have wealthy parents. Original Jerry kills clone Jerry. Everyone is very relieved. Even the people back from his universe, they all are relieved because clone Jerry, was a mental case. Loretta requests a head count. Original Jerry and clone Danny disposes of the body of clone Jerry into the swamp. They are all in a car. As Jerry is driving fast, Loretta states she gets a strange feeling being on that particular road. Jerry laughs and states he doesn't know why because it wasn't even the real you who died here. She talks about death. The same black SUV at the same time collides with them. Jerry yells, "Jesus!" as the car hangs over a cliff. He attempts to back up the car, instructing everyone to hold on. It appears as if they are going to fall. There's a knock on the window. Clone Loretta opens it to discover yet another version of herself. New Loretta yells to the black SUV, "It's us!" Clone Loretta puts out her hand. No, Clone Loretta puts her hand out of the window and New Loretta grabs it. Boom. The original accident was recreated, making the new group without a Loretta just like the original group. The three friends comfort each other as Danny screams. All four friends are back at the science lab in school, recreating the same dialogue and actions all over again. After rewatching the film, it's hard to decipher which group is which. One group had tattoos and a speaking Amy, the other groups did not. It is safe to assume that the same accident will continue to happen on the same winding road until there is only one group of friends left and they must be without a Loretta. It is also great to piece together how the original Loretta was the first one to see the clones because she died holding her clone's hand after seeing her face. The only difference with the first group is the original Loretta did not tell her group, "It is us." Each clone has slight differences. Clone Loretta, the original clone Loretta, was sharper and quicker and a little smarter than the original Loretta. I really enjoyed this movie for it made me think outside the box. Quantum physics, quantum physics is really the gateway for intergalactic multiverse parallel universe travel because the man who fell to Earth masters quantum physics to visit Earth in an attempt to save his home planet and to also save the Earth. It is folklore that when the celebrities are cloned, the original is quote unquote taken away, while the cloned person doesn't realize they are a clone, just like the movie, right? It is possible the government knows how to navigate multiple. Is it possible the government knows how to navigate multiple universes and are swapping celebrities with their clones? There are few notable entertainers who is rumored to be cloned after not satisfying the wishes of the elite. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more videos. We are the Melanated Minds. My partner will join soon, but her life is just a little hectic and it's still the summertime. I'm just nervous and I wanted to start getting the ball rolling before, we get to the meat and the potatoes of everything when my partner comes. And thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more videos.